What if you could take a massive personal crisis and actually turn it into a multi-million-dollar business? Well, that's exactly what internet marketer Nick James did. So today we're going to break down his entire journey into a blueprint you can actually use, and it all starts with one simple realization that just changed everything for him.
This right here, this is the light bulb moment. The idea that your income doesn't have to be tied one-to-one to the hours you put in. For Nick, this single thought was the key that unlocked a whole new world of possibilities. But what's so fascinating is that this breakthrough didn't happen when things were going great. Not at all.
You see, this huge illumination wasn't sparked in some fancy boardroom or during a moment of success. It was actually forged in the fire of a really deep personal crisis, a painful beginning that unexpectedly became the catalyst for a massive change.
So picture this. Nick is just 20 years old. He's at a real low point, completely reeling from a tough breakup. And then a Brian Tracy cassette tape basically falls into his lap. It's one of those classic, when the student is ready, the teacher appears moments, right? He just dove headfirst into self-education, almost as an escape from his personal pain. And in that process, he completely stumbled onto a brand new path.
He actually calls himself an avoidance of pain guy. And instead of just sinking into that pain, he channeled all of that negative energy into learning how to make money online. His absolute lowest point became the powerful foundation for something pretty incredible. But how did he get from just an idea to actually earning an income so quickly?
Well, he didn't start by trying to invent the next big thing. Nope. Instead, he found this powerful shortcut, a method that let him completely bypass the single biggest hurdle that trips up most entrepreneurs: the nightmare of creating a product from scratch.
Okay, so think about it like this. On one hand, you've got the slow, risky path of trying to create your own product. It's so easy to get stuck in that endless cycle of perfectionism. But on the other hand, you have licensing, where the product is already done. Nick figures the shortcut gets you to market something like 10 times faster, because you're starting with a proven, finished concept from day one. You know, the legendary marketer Marlon Sanders just hit the nail on the head when he said, "Half done ain't done." I mean, seriously, how many half-finished projects do you have sitting on your hard drive right now? Licensing completely solves this problem because the product is finished before you even begin. So let's get clear on what this actually is.
It's actually way simpler than you might think. Licensing is just a rights agreement. Someone else does all the hard work of creating a course or a piece of software or a manual, and you get permission to sell copies of it. You don't have to be the creator. You just need the rights to sell what's already been built.
Now let's drill down into a specific type of license called private label rights, or PLR. Think of it like badge engineering for a car. You know, someone else builds the engine and the chassis, but you get to put your own logo on the hood. With PLR, you can often edit the product and even put your own name on it as the author. And that flexibility, that's where the real magic happens.
You see, you don't just take the licensed product and sell it as is. Nope. The real opportunity, the secret, lies in rebranding it to make it uniquely yours. And Nick has a really simple 4-step blueprint to do just that.
And the blueprint is super straightforward. First, you have to confirm you have the rights to rebrand. That part is non-negotiable. Next, you give it a fresh, compelling new title. Then you design a new wrapper with professional graphics to make it look brand new. And finally, and this is the secret sauce, you bundle it with bonuses to create an offer that nobody else has. And look, if you're thinking, "But I'm not a designer," don't even sweat it. Nick jokes that his own skills are like a 3-year-old with jumbo-sized crowns. The takeaway is really simple. Outsource what you're not good at. A small investment on a site like Fiverr or Upwork can give your product a professional polish that makes all the difference in the world. And check out how simple but crazy effective a title change can be. Nick licensed a product called One Day Product Creation and just rebranded it as the 24-hour product formula. It's the same core idea, but that new title makes it feel fresh, distinct, and totally his. This right here is the final step to making your offer untouchable. By adding just 1 or 2 bonus products, you create an exclusive package that nobody else on Earth can sell. Then you register a unique domain name for it, and instantly you've eliminated all the competition. People can't just Google it to find it cheaper somewhere else. You're no longer selling a commodity, you're selling a unique solution. But the best tactics in the world mean nothing without the right philosophy behind them.
Because really, these strategies are just tools. What makes them so powerful is the ethical foundation they're built on.
This is about building a business that actually lasts, not just making a quick buck.
Nick's core philosophy is so simple. Be the right knight of your industry. He argues that real sustainable profit doesn't come from the first sale. It comes from the lifetime value of that customer, which means you have to shift your focus from transactions to relationships.
So what does that actually mean? Well, it all boils down to this. Add real value with every single transaction. A positive first experience doesn't just make you a sale, it opens the door for every single future sale. That ethical foundation is the engine that turns one-time buyers into lifelong fans.
Okay, so how has this philosophy evolved for the modern era? Let's take a look at the key principles Nick uses today to design a business that's really built for freedom, not just for income.
Looking back, if you were starting all over again today, Nick says he would change 2 huge things. First, forget waiting 30 days to offer a customer a second product. Today, he'd do it in 30 times seconds. Second, he would build recurring revenue, like a membership or subscription from day one. He's convinced that one change alone would have completely transformed his financial trajectory.
And all that experience has led him to 2 very simple rules for his business today. Rule number 1, it must be transient, runnable from a laptop anywhere in the world. Rule number 2, employ no one. After having offices and staff, he now prefers to just outsource everything. He's their best customer, not their boss. It's a business model designed completely around freedom.
So after all of these tactics and all these big philosophies, what's the most important number in this entire journey? It's 1. Just 1. The moment you get your very first customer. Nick calls this the epiphany. That instant when a complete stranger trusts you enough to give you their money. Because once you get 1, you've proven the model. And you know you can get 2, then 10, then 100.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. In every single market, in every niche, there are people who are desperately looking for answers. They are, in Nick's own words, just begging to be shown what to do. So the only real question left is, are you going to be the one to show them?